Hi guys, it's Kales, and I'm coming at you with some LGBTQ recommendations. So as many of you know, it is June, which means it is Pride Month, and some of you may have heard on my podcast, Why We YA, co-hosted by my friend Allison, we are challenging ourselves to read only LGBTQ books for the month of June. And that being said, I was thinking about some of the LGBTQ books that I had already read, and I hadn't made a recommendation video yet. So I want to make a recommendation video for you if you want to join us on this challenge for a month or a week or just read one LGBTQ book. Go for it. Here's some that I got on my list. This one here is Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard. I have to put this book up here because it has one of the best representations of a gender fluid character that I've ever read. I'm currently reading Symptoms of Being Human, so that opinion may change, but this is actually one of the first books that I've ever read with a gender fluid character in it. And Rick Riordan is already doing really well at having diverse characters in all of his books, which makes me so happy that he's doing that. While she is secondary to Magnus Chase, who's the obvious protagonist, Alex is a vital character in this particular journey. She is well represented. Alex does prefer both pronouns, and depending on the day, she will tell his or her friends about what pronouns she would like them to use. I just learned a lot, actually, and I fell in love with Alex as a character, and I totally ship him, her, and Magnus, like, to the nth degree. Next on my list is Lily and Duncan by Donna Gephardt, which I've ranted and raved about this book before. It's one of my favorite books ever. I love recommending it to people because it's so good. It is about a young transgender girl, Lily, and Duncan, who she meets, who has bipolar disorder, and the two of them become friends, and it's about them like trying to save a tree together. It's also really hard because this book is also about Lily trying to talk to her parents about getting the correct hormones and coming out to her friends and being only in 8th grade. That's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing regardless of any age, but I find this book courageous and amazing and just about an awesome duo of friends. I really, really enjoyed this book. It's so heartfelt and so good. We have another transgender book for you that's a nice, quick read, which I love, and it's George. George is an excellent book. It's a middle grade book, and it's like less than 200 pages, and I think it should be required reading for every middle schooler. George is about this young transgender girl who wants to play Charlotte in Charlotte's Web, but because she is a boy on the outside, she's nervous that she won't get to play Charlotte. And it's how she uses that play to come out and enjoy being a girl. And I just can't stop smiling because I think about the acceptance in this book, and I think about the journey that George goes on. I love it. I love this book, and it's so endearing and so good, and like I said, it's a quick read, less than 200 pages, but it's chocked full of story and full of empathy. I'm gonna give all you fantasy friends out there one. This steampunk duology, Prudance and Imprudence, has a awesome lesbian character in it. She is Prudence's best friend in the series, and she's discovering her own sexual identity in the series as well. I love this series. It's great. It has all different sexual perspectives, and if you read Gail Carriger's other series, Soulless, and some of the spin-offs, novellas that she has, are also great LGBTQ books. And it's an awesome, fun adventure fantasy series with vampires and werewolves and ghosts and steampunk, and it's great. What's not to love about this series? I'm also going to throw out here Last Call at the Nightshade Lounge by Paul Kruger, which is a book about 20-somethings who get superpowers by drinking different types of alcohol. It's really about like alchemy and stuff, but there's also an awesome transgender character in here, and the other great thing about this book is that it's so diverse, which makes me so happy. The lead character is a Chinese American, her potential boyfriend is white, but his best friend is black, and they have another transgender character in here that's fantastic, and it's just not about any of that. It's literally about them trying to save Chicago from this guy who's gonna get superpowers by drinking alcohol. Like, that's what this story's about, and that's why I love it so much, is because it's chocked full of diverse characters, but it has nothing to do with their diversity, and it's great, and it's hilarious, and it's really like just cheeky and fun. And actually there are like the recipes from the book, like what happens when you drink a Mai Tai, and oh my gosh, it's just a great 20-something new adult book. I would be remiss if I did not throw one of my absolute all-time favorite books in here, and that is I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. Jandy Nelson wrote this beautiful, incredible story, which if you guys have not been on my booktube channel long, I don't think I've talked about it in a while, but basically this book, I read it, loved it, gave it to my sister, who then stole the book from me, gave it to 3 of her friends. It got given back to me in worse condition than when I gave it to her, so I bought myself another copy. That got stolen by my brother, and then during a road trip between my mother, my brother, and my sister, they all read it aloud, and my mother had to go and finish it and has an ebook copy. So now I have my copy back, but we all own it. It just goes to show you how many different people love and appreciate this book. It is about 2 twins, Jude and Noah, and it is told from their 2 perspectives but 3 years apart. Something has happened that has sent a divide in their relationship and in their family. Noah is gay, and it is also about his relationship as he falls in love with this boy, and Jude falls in love with another boy, and it's just, and there's secrets about their family and their past, and you wonder why those who were so close beforehand, what happened in those 3 years to make them so distant. And it's just well crafted and beautiful, and I freaking love this cover. That's just icing on the cake, or a dust jacket on the book. I don't know, that was cheesy. Moving on. I want to throw out Ramona Blue, which I talked extensively about in my May wrap-up recently. I love this book. It's a great book. Again, sexual identity, fluidity out the wazoo. It's great. It's awesome. For more, go watch my May wrap-up, because I still got more recommendations to give you. Queens of Geek is this fantastic book that I recently read. I love this, by Jen Wild. It is a great book about all things geeky, and I read it like a couple of months ago, and I loved it. It features a bisexual character and a character with social anxiety and who's on the autism spectrum, and they're best friends, and they get to go to their favorite con. And the girl who is bisexual has just broken up with a very famous boy and is trying to get over that and is now having a crush on a girl at the convention, and it's great and lovely and just all chocked full of nerdiness and cuteness and awesomeness. And it's also a really short read. I think it's less than 300 pages, and it's definitely worth it. Also, this cover is to die for. I don't know what it is about the pink hair, but I really, really like it. Moving on to some graphic novels that I love, I have to mention Honor Girl, which is a graphic memoir, and this book is actually how the author came out to her family, talking about her first relationship with a woman at camp, and Honor Girl, and what that means to her, and what camp means, and just the history behind it. It's tragic and beautiful, and so well done, and I really like the art in it as well. It's just, it's great. Then I want to give you Blue is the Warmest Color. Blue is the Warmest Color is actually a French graphic novel that was translated into English and into a movie, and it's all told in black and white except for the blue hair of one of the girls. And again, it's about this young girl falling in love with an older girl and discovering her own sexual identity and their future and how their lives come together and fall apart. And it's fascinating and beautiful. And I really want to watch the movie, but I haven't yet just because I'm so in love with this graphic novel that I don't really want to touch it quite yet. So yes, these are some of my LGBTQ recommendations. I would love it if you guys could join us on this journey to celebrate Pride Month and awareness of the LGBTQ community. And if you have any recommendations for me, leave them down in the comments below. I have a whole list on Goodreads, which I'll also link down below, of books that I'm planning to read, books I have read, but these are just some of the few. Some of them a few and some of my favorites. Until next time, guys, bye! I should get Lily and Duncan and George, and they're sitting over there in another area, and I've got all my lighting set up. Oh, my apartment's too small for this. It is about 2 twins, Jude and Noah. Nope. It is Jude and Noah. I'm right.